everyone, and welcome to the Wheels Museum. It's a cold, rainy day, unusually, the middle of April. We have a big crowd here today. We have the train club here right now. We have John Gahate speaking, and what I'm really thrilled about is my friend Ronn Perea is here with me. Ronn and I went to the same high school, Del Norte High School.
We're both knights.
He's much older than I am, I wish. But he has been a great friend for a long, long time. He's written how many books? Only 5 so far?
So far.
Only 5 so far, all about wonderful subjects relating to Albuquerque and the history.
And the
here.
next one is
yeah.
right up the museum's alley.
And what's the name of that one?
The Harvey Girl.
Perfect. And we are planning right now to do a Harvey Girl tea party with a wonderful recipe from Fred Harvey, and maybe a movie, and maybe he'll give us a talk. So we're getting an event ready for that, and we'll be able to talk about the date of that pretty soon. So, and Ron owned the comedy club, and he is known at Wheels Museum for being fascinating. He works in the Alvarado room, the Alvarado hotel room, and many people come to me and say, he knows so much.
They really do?
They really do. Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes,
right.
they really do all the time. Yes, and he always dresses up, and he sits in the barber chair. So I don't want to call you a fixture.
But the barber chair is my throne.
But that's your throne, that's right, he sits on the throne. He's not a fixture, but he sits on the throne, exactly. So today, Ron is here especially to talk about a presentation that he's going to be giving soon. So Ron, please tell us
Next Saturday, the
next.
26th of April, at 11 a.m., this room will fill up again. Am I wrong? Am I bragging?
It always has.
And, but this is a topic very close to all Albuquerqueans' heart, about the most internationally famous Burkeite in the history of Albuquerque. They got a school named after him.
Right.
They got a library named after him. And we've all heard of Ernie Pyle. He was a international newspaper correspondent. And the only, unless you know of anybody else, the only Albuquerquean ever to win the Pulitzer Prize.
Fantastic.
And so we're going to talk about him and his lineage of his experiences in Albuquerque. And so that is next Saturday at 11 o'clock. And I got photos up the yin yang.
I was going to ask you about that.
I got 500.
Oh dear, don't show them all.
Tom,
Only $4.99.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But some of them, I even got a photo of him frolicking around when he was in Hollywood. They were making his movie.
Yes.
And of him frolicking around with Bob Hope.
How
Isn't that a kick?
Wonderful. Yeah.
And
This is going to be great.
I got some awfully happy photos and awfully sad.
Yeah.
And I even had, on the saddest photo, I even had to ask special permission from you to even run it.
Right.
But I'm going to. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but only 5% of Albuquerqueans have ever seen this particular photo. And so you should be here just to see it. What else can I ask? Ask me questions.
Well, here's what I'm going to take. What you're bringing out is so important because we are here to inspire young people, really. And someone like Ernie Pyle and someone like you, who is talking about this very, very important person in American history from Albuquerque, New Mexico, I hope will inspire young people. I hope that young people will come here. I hope teachers will come that day. And anyone who's interested in seeing what a man has done with his life to help others and to help this world. And really, I would say that's why we're all here. We're all volunteers at Wheels Museum. And right now we have a man speaking about the Native American relationship to the railroad. Here you're talking about Ernie Pyle. Almost every week we try to bring in someone to talk about our history, our culture, and our purpose.
And you brought up a very special point that was on my brain cells.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with you bringing it up.
Yeah.
But yesterday I was told that I look older than sin.
You do not.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think I have enough confidence about that?
Okay.
But that did drive home an important point. You just brought up about all the young people that I want in the audience. Why? Who's going to carry on this information when I'm gone?
Right.
And so we need to convey it to the young folk. and just so they have the knowledge, so they can carry it on. This is very critical.
That's right.
And so that is why I want to especially invite the young folk.
And it's so sad to me that so many people are on their phones or whatever, but they're not having the living experience of this history, which you are going to bring to them, and Tom Sims, who's providing help, I think, with the photographs, to really bring to life and to light.
You should see him, and he's all overwhelmed with
He told me-
500 photos.
He told me you have so many pictures. Yeah, so it should be absolutely fascinating and very, very important. I cannot thank you enough for doing
I got
it.
some juicy photos of him with his wife lounging in his home here
Oh,
in
nice,
Albuquerque.
nice,
Very
nice.
rarely seen.
Yes, right, right.
And pictures of his wife, of course.
Yeah.
And his wife was awarded the Medal of, in about a couple of months after his passing. And I got quotes from General Eisenhower,
Wow.
from President Truman at the time.
You should research
he
it.
he had passed on
Yeah.
6 days after FDR.
Oh boy.
And so it was a tough time for America at that time.
Sure.
And as we all know, FDR was sent to the beyond with national aplomb. And so 6 days later, it was equally presented to Ernie. And so that is why it's important. That's why it's critical for all of you Burques to come and check it out.
That's right.
And the museum, what a fantastic place to do it at.
We have over 10,000 items now.
Well, see, brag, that's a fact.
Well, I'm not bragging, I'm just describing.
Hey,
Yeah.
if anybody has a right to brag, And so right now, there's no other place we can learn about Ernie Pyle. Okay, yes, there's another point I got to convey.
Okay.
This is a sad fact that this past Wednesday was exactly the 80th year of his passing.
Oh my God.
Down to the day,
Wow.
down to the minute.
And look how vital this story still is. And will be in another 80 years if we keep it going. If we make people understand what it is to be a person, to be a man, to be a leader, to help others, to work, to struggle, to make our
Do
country
you
better.
want to hear of a fact that I did not know
Yes,
until I
we
did
want
my
to.
research?
Yes.
You will be amazed.
All right.
You out there will be amazed how big shot this guy was before he moved to Albuquerque. His primary job was as an aviator editor for the various newspapers. As such, he was well in touch with all of the national. Aviation was exploding at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was the name of that dude that flew over the ocean for the first time?
Right.
Who?
Right, Phillips?
No, that was.
Who?
Who was that first guy who wrote Solo? Jimmy Stewart did the movie. Come on.
Put that in here.
Hey, Dan, you'll know it. He had his kid kidnapped and killed.
Oh, Lindbergh.
Him.
Okay.
So he was buddies with Lindbergh.
Okay.
And the pièce de résistance. You think I will also have a quote from apparently a lady who knew him well, that everybody in America's heard of. Ladies were raised with this lady's name, Amelia Earhart.
Oh yeah, we have Amelia Earhart model, in one of our airplanes up here.
Well,
you know
apparently
that?
they were buddies.
I see. That makes sense.
And then when he retired from the aviation department,
Uh-huh.
he started to, because he got hit with the Depression era, he decided to tour America and interview the everyday folk that were hit hard. And so, and apparently that's where he got his little niche. People wanted to hear about the everyday folk. And how the impact was.
Yes.
And with the Depression, he had a lot of candidates. And so he traveled around. And that's how come he came through New Mexico regularly, because there was a little road that was his main artery. It was called, maybe you heard of it, called Route 66. And
Yeah.
so he traveled it. And what was the main geometric epicenter of this road?
First and Central?
A little town called Albuquerque.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so he
Of
was
course.
traveling east to west, north to south, west to east all the time. And so he was through Albuquerque all the time.
Mhm.
So why do you think he settled here? Because he discovered the beauty of Albuquerque.
You know, when you talk about the common folk, that's one thing that we talk about so much here at Wheels, and we have many displays and exhibits. I don't want to call it the common folk.
Because she's calling me one.
No, but the men who were working to build our country. And so we don't just talk in general about the railroad or the rail yard. We love to talk about the people who really built our country. And there were some men in this week from Colorado, and they asked me what my favorite exhibit was, and I told them the little ice cream cart. And the little ice cream cart is my favorite exhibit because 3 men came in one time here, very prepossessing, tall men in black suits. They were brothers, and they were lawyers, and they looked around the museum for hours, and finally I said, what was your favorite thing in the museum? Oh, this airplane, or they said the ice cream cart. That is the actual ice cream cart that our father walked down the streets of Central Avenue to make a living for us and to allow us to go to college. But what you say is true. What Ernie Pyle did.
Isn't that an inspiring story?
To
That
talk
really
about
gets my heart.
me too. To talk about the people, the one by one men and the one by one women and the family that really built this city and this country. And that's what we want the young people to understand, what it takes to do that. Not easy to do it.
Another reason she passed. If you're a youngin' or you know someone who's a youngin' that should know this, bring them.
Yeah.
You'd be severely remiss in your duties if you don't bring them and introduce them to this very important topic of American history that just so happens to be out of Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And so here's a great opportunity.
Oh, Ron, I cannot thank you enough
Uh,
for always being here, for always being a friend through thick and thin or whatever. You're
I
here.
only have one more thing to say.
Oh, go ahead, finish, tell us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You've been in the comedy world a long time. Thank
Oh,
you so much.
And not just comedy. You know, I was once the executive director of the Albuquerque Civic Light Opera.
Oh, that's right, also Civic Light Opera. You belong to all kinds of nonprofit organizations. You help us in so many ways. You're here so reliably. You talk to everyone.
So I
and
expect
and you've written
I
5
will
books.
be,
So
I will
come
be
and hear
back.
him. Come
I
and hear
will
him.
be back to talk about the new musical theater cabaret. And you know what it's called?
What?
Moulin Rouge de Burquet.
Wonderful. Bring him in.
More news coming.
Ron, not only are you doing the presentation about Ernie Pyle, but the last Saturday in June, you're doing something that's very important that's coming up for the state of New Mexico within the next year or so. Is going to be a hot topic. Tell us what that's going to be.
Okay, all Americans out there, I don't care if you're in Washington to Florida, New York to Hawaii. America is going to be celebrating a 100th anniversary. November 11th, 2026 will be the 100th anniversary of Route 66, Americana Extraordinaire. And so I will be presenting on the last Saturday of June, 11 o'clock, the Route 66. And let me tell you something, it probably won't be the last either, but everything you need to know. And here is the key. Well, just so what happened here in Albuquerque along Route 66, I will be linking 3 individuals every single human on planet Earth have heard of. I will be linking Robert F. Kennedy, Jane Fonda, and John Lennon. All
Wow.
together because of their contribution to Albuquerque Route 66 history, which was only 1 block apart from each one of them. And I'm going to tell
Fascinating.
you. And so think of that too. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ron Perea. This is Leba Fried. Au revoir.
Thank you so much. Fabulous. This morning I was able to book a speaker named Jack McElroy, who is going to be talking not until September 20th at noon, but I think this is going to be absolutely fascinating, about a man named Carl McGee who started the Tribune here, the Tribune newspaper. And what he did that was related so much to Wheels Museum, which I never knew, was he made the first parking meter. So this should be a very, very interesting historic speech on September 20th at noon. So I know it's several months away on your calendar, but I hope you'll mark it to come. I also want to tell you, just for fun, that on Thursday I had a call from the city film office, and they told me that International BBC was going to be here at noon that day, and they wanted to do an interview of me with Wheels Museum, and they have 100 million viewers, so there might be a few more than we have on our podcast. I hope not too many more than what we have on our podcast, but that was a great opportunity for us to spread the word. Also, there's a new magazine in Albuquerque called Stroll, and I'm going to do an interview with them, and they're going to feature Wheels Museum, so I'm going to meet with them today. We're doing everything we can to publicize the Wheels Museum, get people here and market it. We have 3 events here today going on. If you have an event you'd like to hold here at Wheels, a party, birthday party, a school field trip, a church field trip, anything to bring the public in to enjoy and understand our 10,000 exhibits, and we have model trains of every scale running. We have free train rides around the museum. It's free to come into the museum if you're just coming with your family. So we'd love to have you come in. Call us 505-243-6269 if you want any information. We're open Monday through Thursday mornings 9 to 12, Saturdays 10 to 2, and starting May 4th in 2 weeks we'll be open on Sundays also 10 to 2, and also have a booth at the market. So we're looking for volunteers. We want you. Please come and see us. Thank you very much. May 10th we have Roy Leibarger, and he's coming at 10 o'clock to talk about the history of his family as to railroading. Fascinating person, and I think it's going to be a wonderful event, so I hope that you will come May 10th at 10 o'clock to hear Roy Leibarger. On the 17th of May, again, the train club is meeting from 9 to 11, and then we have Donna Pedacci coming, and I can't wait to hear this. She's coming at noon. She's a friend of Wheels, and she's coming to talk a book she's written about women warriors. So now maybe is a time when we need women warriors, and I guess we've always needed them, and she's going to tell us how to be one and talk about people who have already done that. On the 24th of May, we have Mike Katko is going to talk about his book, The Poetry of War. That's at 1 o'clock. He was here recently, and he had a huge crowd, and everybody loves him. He was the superintendent of schools, and it's a very, very kind, wonderful, interesting person who's very capable as a speaker. That should be very, very interesting. And on that same day, we have Ronn Panabov coming, and he's also a fabulous speaker, and he's a veteran. He talks at the Veterans Memorial. He's coming that day at 10 o'clock to talk about what happened to the telegram. And he has wonderful pictures and stories about what happened to the telegram. And the people who come will be able to write a telegram and send it to someone, and it's going to be a very interesting and fun and very historic and sentimental event that day. On the 31st, we have Michelle Adams. She's coming as a storyteller at 10 o'clock. She's a fascinating, lovely, lovely person, and she has puppet shows and storytelling, and that's very interesting. And also on that day, we have John Taylor. That's the 31st of May. We have John Taylor coming from 12 to 2 to talk about the treasures of the Luna Mansion in Las Lunas. And that's always been a home that's been fascinating to me and to many, many people. He's going to talk about the people who lived here and the history of the Luna Mansion. So I hope that you will come to that event. We've been very lucky. We've been getting great crowds, and that's why we're here. We get up early in the morning on Saturday as volunteers, and we come down waiting for you, and we would be very sad if you were not here with us. On the 7th of June, there's something that I find very, very exciting. There's a man named Mike Kimmel who is a movie and television star. He did over 50 performances with Jay Leno. He's been in many movies. He's a character actor, and he's sort of retired now. And he's at 10 o'clock in the morning, he's going to teach children how to act. And it's going to be very, very nice. It's a very wholesome, wonderful opportunity to learn how to ad lib and how to innovate and how to act. And he's written some books with monologues for children, and they can learn a one-page monologue and they can present it. So I think it's very important to know how to be on the stage, and he's a super kind man. So please, if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you come. Mike Kimmel, you can look him up on the web and you'll see him. He's a character actor, and he's a very, very nice person. On the 14th of June, we have Mike Katko coming back, and he's going to tell New Mexico stories at noon. And again, he's a wonderful, wonderful person. And we have a show by Will Itoh, I-T-O-H, at 10 o'clock on the 14th of June. And it's a photography show of interesting photography that he's done. So I think you will all love that. He's quite a famous photographer. On the 28th of June, we're going to have Suzanne Stover, and she's going to talk about the fried chicken castaneda. So this is going to be about the Castaneda Hotel. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And that's at 11 o'clock in the morning. So we have a lot of things coming up that will be fascinating, and we're always looking for more. So if you have an idea for an event or a presentation, please let us know at 505-243-6269. We're a nonprofit. We're volunteers here trying to help Albuquerque, help the rail yard, help our communities to save our history and our culture, and talk about the past, the present, the future of transportation, and the people who made it all happen. Thank you very much.